Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Politically Correct Ghana lesson 268. And today being the 17th of February 2025, the topic for discussions is Bank of Ghana reforms. Attention, Dr. Johnson Asiamah, the governor. Governor and Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana actually, the act started way back in 56 or 57 thereabout, 1956, 97, 57. Just after independence of Ghana. And then the recent one is the 2002 Act, which is quite too old because the functions of the nation, the economy of Ghana has grown past into a trillion cedis. So then you have to look at reforms. The Bank of Ghana as it stands now is burdened with too much work. One role is that it must regulate and supervise commercial banks and other financial institutions. That's the Bank of Ghana's role. However, question is, who supervises the Bank of Ghana? Don't deceive yourself that it's the Ministry of Finance. Don't deceive yourself, it's the Board of Governors. No. We need an independent supervisory board, an independent supervisory authority for the Bank of Ghana. And that should be the Financial Services Authority. So Dr. Johnson Asiamah, kindly draft a policy that you pass on to Parliament to pass into a law where Financial Services Authority is established to supervise the Bank of Ghana. That way, accountability is assured. And then there's a certain level of trust for the Bank of Ghana. Why trust is important? The independent supervisory body of the institution gives it a higher trust level among other banks or other central banks. Okay, that's just one of the recommendations. The second recommendation would be looking at the Bank of Ghana. The functions are too big for just one central authority to be managing, meaning that you have to delineate the treasury from the Bank of Ghana. Delineate the treasury, make it an independent body from the Bank of Ghana. The treasury, you can name it Ghana Treasury, and then the Bank of Ghana remains the Bank of Ghana, taking care of its monetary policies and ensuring that there's economic stability in the country, whilst the treasury takes care of government monies that comes in as inflows and government monies that goes out as outflows, both domestic and then external. So that they are two separate institutions with two different heads and of equal strength or equal capabilities in their respective areas. And then the coordinating board is the Financial Services Authority that supervises them, these two institutions. So in your job as the new governor, you would have set up a Financial Service Authority. You have set up the Ghana Treasury. That's also another expansion. That's also another delineation, two delineations from the Bank of Ghana that is doing all the roles as of today we're talking about, which is not too good. You know, when the Bank of Ghana takes care of it itself, supervises other banks and regulates other banks, nobody supervises it, nobody regulates it, then it means that it is an all-in-all institution, and that affects accountability. Then it makes room because you report to, you don't have even a direct reporting line to Parliament of Ghana, so then it's a bit quasi reporting relationship to the finance ministry. So the finance ministry is also government. So that means that government is in charge. And the reason why the former government of Ghana, as led by Nanado, was able to print out so much cash, and now the debt for the people to pay. That's not good enough. Because if you have the treasury, an independent body, they can say, no, we are not printing out. Or the Bank of Ghana can say, no, we are not printing out, because of the independence and accountability and the political influence that would have been minimized. The political influence would have been minimized. I'm not saying it's going to be eliminated, but highly minimized. If it's eliminated, that's good, because the Bank of Ghana must be independent, and the Ghana Treasury must be independent, and the Financial Services Authority must also be independent. All right, that is just the other recommendation. That's the second recommendation. The third recommendation will be looking at the fact that in your monetary policy, you would have to work on the lending rate. I'm not going to say interest rate, the lending rate. Your base rate, which is the monetary policy that you issue, is so high now. But to do it, it's a bit of arithmetic, or a bit of, not arithmetic, a bit of mathematics. So you look at it carefully, that the percentage of the citizenry that are banking in Ghana was recorded in 2015 at 58%. But in 2024, just the past year, it's dropped to 39.2%, which is very bad, simply because we have shut down almost all the indigenous old banks. 427 of the indigenous financial institutions have been shut down. 427 have been shut down. So we release the licenses to all the 427 or most of them, such that there will be strict conditions, strict regulatory policies, meaning that they must have branches in all 16 regions. All the universal banks, these are indigenous ones, must have branches in all 16 regions. And each region, there must be a regional capital and at least 2 more other towns in that region, making at least 3 branches in each region. So then that way, all the banks will have presence in that. And once they are going out of Greater Accra, their tax rate must be reduced. Okay. That way, we're mopping all the cash into the country, into the domestic system. As of now, most of the cash that we make in this country, Ghana, goes to the foreign banks, because that's what we have succeeded in doing, but the old government has succeeded in doing, giving all the Ghana's money to foreign banks and gives them 100% repatriation. So then, Dr. Asiamah and your team quickly ask Ghana Investment Promotion Council to what? Halt and then rectify that law, the 100% repatriation of funds, the profit, to 50% repatriation of funds for all foreign entities in Ghana. That way, the dollar will not go that fast. 50%. Then indigenous banks, you improve them, give them good financial base, and then let them spread countrywide. Both microfinance and then the universal banks or commercial banks, as it were, that you would have set up. That way, they will have countrywide presence, and then mop out all cash. And then mopping up of cash out of the system, you will have to ensure that you come up with a team. Bank of Ghana will have a team that would have to move from all commercial centers to commercial centers and register every small, micro, and sole businesses. All the shops, small, micro, and sole businesses, you register them and give them a list. They should select the banks from. Once they select, the bankers must register them. And the fourth one, it has to be free court. Free banking has to be introduced. Please, Dr. Asiamah, I've gone, this is the fourth one. Free banking, that's the COT must be 0%. Nobody should charge any client, no bank rather, no bank should charge any customer court or banking services charge. It should be 0. Free banking, that's what you should do. That way, everybody would have to be banking. All small, micro, sole enterprises must pay their salaries or wages through the banks. None of them must pay their salaries on tabletop. Make sure that the law is enacted by Parliament and that nobody should pay any worker tabletop. It should all be through the bank. All right, I'm rushing too much, but then when you look at it carefully, when you do that, it will bring the confidence again back into the Bank of Ghana, and then you mop up a lot of cash, reducing the inflation, and then what? Your interest rate will also, or lending rate will also come down. Once you reduce the inflation, lending rate will also come down commensurate. Call the bank managers and discuss with them. Now look, you are focusing on agric and manufacturing, where you're going to give them a loan at a base rate or monetary rate of maybe 6%, and they also have to lend to business entities into agric and manufacturing at no more than 8%. If you are giving it at 6%, they should not give it out any more than 8%. Then, of course, the last one I would suggest for now, invite Islamic banking. Get the law done to invite Islamic banking, because with Islamic banking, they have the section for agric, where they give loans for agric and they don't take interest rather. Islamic development banks are there globally. They will do it. They will bring billions of dollars into Ghana to boost the agric sector and the manufacturing sector, or the agro manufacturing sector, and then we will be free. The economy in the next 2-3 years would be healthy because of some of these initiatives you have taken. The name is Kwame Afaglo. Thank you.